special screening of HBO Max's new show, The Sex Lives of College Girls, premiering on November 18th and created by Mindy Kaling.
Why is the show important and what inspired the show?
Why is it important? I don't know why it's important. I think it's really funny. I think the performances are amazing, and it shows female friendship. So I like to put that kind of art out there into the world. I think that's important to me. Hopefully it'll be important to people. Yeah, sorry, what was your second question?
Why is it important and what inspired the show?
Honestly, I went to college in the East Coast, and I love that experience, and it's really specific, and I had not seen that yet on TV, like people randomly assigned in a dorm on the, in the East Coast with the seasons in fall, and I just love that period in my life, and I wanted to see it filmed.
What was the most challenging aspect about either the writer's room or the production or anything in between?
I think the most challenging part of making the show was that when we auditioned the actresses, we didn't do it in person. It was like on Zoom, so we didn't really know what they were like, and you can tell so much just by being in a room with someone, and so we feel so lucky that it ended up being as successful as it was, and the actresses have great chemistry, and so that was probably the hardest. It's not that intimacy that I could have with the cast, which is what I would do in any other of my shows.
Are you hoping for a season 2?
Yes, I would love a season 2. That'd be amazing.
What would you say sets the show apart from HBO Max's library?
Oh my gosh. I love the HBO Max library. I hope the show kind of fits in. I mean, it's really funny. It's a hard comedy, but there's a lot of poignant moments as well. And the cast is just kind of effortlessly funny and diverse. And I'm trying to make shows where there's representation, but it doesn't feel like you're trying to educate you. Just like funny actors of color living their lives. And so I hope that people appreciate that.
What was the most important part for you when assembling the writer's room? What were those conversations like? What did you need to make sure was in there?
We definitely needed a lot of women on our staff, a lot of diverse women, and people who had really funny stories about romance and sex. Because I was a real wallflower, and I needed just younger people who knew what young people are like now in college. Because I'm 42, and I just didn't want it to seem like this woman is so out of touch. So that was the biggest thing.
And what advice would you give to college-age girls today?
My advice is very practical. I didn't go to any of my classes when I was in college, and I basically ate all of my meals after 11 p.m. I would say don't do that. I would say, try to go to classes and try not to subsist only on pizza, delivery pizza. That's probably my advice.
Yeah.
Did you go to college?
Yeah, I did.
What did you study and how
I actually studied acting, which is really hard, believe it or not, but it was really fun. And how that relates to Willow. Willow is all about having a good time, always about being front and center, so I wouldn't be surprised if Willow showed up on someone's stage. So that's how it relates to Willow, for sure.
What do you think sets it apart from HBO Max's library series?
What sets it apart is that we're women and we're doing comedy. I mean, no shade to the guys, but they're always in the front being funny. And now Mindy has given us a chance, and Ron and Justin, to be in the forefront and show that women can do comedy as well. So that's what set this show apart.
How do you relate most to your character?
You know what? My character, I'm about to burp. Don't worry. Excuse me. So my character is a lot like who I was in college. It was just being able to tap into those old memories, the old parties, just remembering where I was, how I was, behaving back then, just the turned up version of me. So, I would say she's just the younger version of who I am. So a lot of who I am too.
How would you say this show relates to your college experience?
Oh yeah, it relates. It relates very well. The parties, definitely some stuff I experienced myself in college. So between the parties and just the dynamic between all the different friends, being able to build quick relationships that are long lasting, it all was very
show apart from HBO Max's previous library of all their series, what they have on there? What makes it different?
Well, first of all, I'm a gigantic fan of HBO's library. I wanted to become a TV writer because I was a closeted gay boy who watched 6 Feet Under with his family and was shocked that this amazing show existed, and I can't believe that I have an HBO show today. But I think the thing that sets it apart in 2021 is it's a hard comedy full of female actors, and there's not many of those on any network, so I'm damn proud of it, being the one that we have here.
What was the most difficult, or I should say most challenging part show running on set?
I think the most difficult thing, maybe perhaps uninterestingly, was like shooting a college show full of parties and hookups during a communicable disease epidemic. That was a difficult thing, and sometimes I'm watching scenes and I think, wow, we filmed this safely and it looks like a really crowded party scene, and I'm very proud of all the department heads who work so vigorously to make it look the way that it does.
What was in the writing room, what were those conversations like of trying to make it as relatable and as realistic as possible, but not stepping over that line, if there is one?
The writer's room experience on the show was so fantastic for so many reasons, but we just hired this absolutely phenomenal staff of young women who have all these college stories that all of us as individuals have, and there was this very shameless sharing that happened in the room where it was like, oh God, I can't believe I'm going to tell you all what happened my junior year with this other person. And I think it almost felt like therapy at times for revisiting a triggering period of our lives through the lens of now adulthood. For some of us, some writers are still very much in college years. But I think it was interesting to keep each other in check and to inspire each other with little seeds of stories. It was interesting to see how many similarities there were between mistakes that we all made in college.
What would you say are some universal themes that kept coming up throughout filming, throughout writing, that viewers are really going to resonate with?
I think we have a lot of female empowerment in the show. I think we had, as a writing staff, a big taste for female friendships and not female-on-female warfare that can sometimes take place in college. And I think the biggest one is just finding your identity. The college years are so difficult. It feels like a cruel trick that we have established to play on 18 and 19-year-olds, where you live at home for the entirety of your life, and then you get dropped off in a place where there's a million other kids, and you're pretending you're an adult, but 2 weeks ago you were like asking your parents to pick you up at the mall. But you're faking it, and you're making so many mistakes along the way without the safety net you've had for your entire life. So you have to lean on those new people who were just randomly assigned to you to be living within 30 feet. And I think that's an interesting experience that a lot of us lived through and that mines for story well.